Hi, Leigh Francis here. I've got an announcement. I'm eating some hot dogs. That's not the announcement. The announcement is I'm going on tour for the very first time. You can come and see me live. What's the tour going to be? The tour is going to be lots of new masks.
It's giving me a giddy willy.
Joel Dommett.
It's in there, guys.
Are you really though?
Welcome to Top Gear.
Potentially.
It's almost as childish as you.
Hey, you!
Avid Marion.
Hello to you, it is me, Avid Marion. Have a face like a sweaty butthole.
Keith Lemon.
Pizzazz.
The Bear.
Hello.
Amanda Holden's Grand Myrtle.
Hello.
Starting on March the 6th, 2024. For ticket info, check out my bio. That's all the information in there. Put that nice picture up at the end now.
Hello, my name is Leigh Francis. You may know me as Keith Lemon. I've just been talking to Graham Walker for Shots TV about my tour, which begins on the 27th in Southend and finishes here in Leeds on the 7th. There's 3 dates, so I think you can still get tickets if you're very lucky or posh and have enough money to buy tickets for a theatre, because it's expensive, the theatre, isn't it? I couldn't afford the theatre when I was a kid. You can check out the full interview on Shots TV. This is probably too long.
Well, hello folks, my name's Graham Walker and I've got something very special for you today. In fact, I could say it's going to be bang tidy. And that's because Leigh Francis, who's best known as his alter ego, Keith Lemon, he's got a 24-date tour UK-wide. He's going to be coming to a theatre near you, including 3 nights, which is a bit of an homecoming here at the Leeds Grand Theatre. And to tell us all about it, I've got the main man himself. Leigh, how are you?
I'm all right. You know what? I've caught a bit of a cold. I did an awards ceremony in Birmingham on Friday, and you shake a lot of hands and hug a lot of people. And I know I'm going to come away with a cold, and I have. So during this little interview we're doing at the wonderful Grand, I might cough and splutter. But if I do, I've got manners. I'll do hand over mouth.
I'm trying to keep my 2-metre distance here.
Let's not kiss. Let's not kiss.
Not again.
Don't you try and kiss me.
Not again.
Not again. Off camera we kiss, we don't.
All right, well, listen, tell me about this tour. My first tour.
It is my first tour. It's the first time I've done it. I've done stand-up once, many years ago, before Bo Selector happened, and I basically did Bo Selector on stage. I was only supposed to do 5 minutes, and my mate who was organising the evening, he was like in the wings going, that's enough, but we're going well. I'm not getting off stage until I've run out. And the next time I did stand-up was at the O2, and I was going there thinking I was just introducing Jonathan Ross on stage, and I saw my name up on lights, and I went, I ain't got any material, I'm not stand-up like you guys. And Jonathan Ross said, you can make stuff up, just get on stage and get on there. No material, walking up the steps at the O2, out to the O2, no material, no material. Walk to a mic, no material, and then it all just came in my head. And whatever I did back then, I'd probably be cancelled for, because it was many years ago, and I said some things. That doesn't mean go online and check it, because hopefully it's not online. And then I turned 50 last year. I know I don't look it, do I?
Let me just say, Leigh, you don't look it.
But I just started doing things that I've never done before. I did Portrait Artist of the Year.
And won?
Yeah, I won. And that was a joyous thing, because I've got a lot of mates that are artists and graphic designers. And funny enough, I got more reaction from that, from my friends texting me, than I did when I won a BAFTA. And when they went, you won. I went, do you know I've got a BAFTA? I thought, yeah, I'm bothered about that, but you won Portrait Artist of the Year. So I was quite nervous about it, but I didn't think I was going to win, because Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen is amazing artist. What else I've done? I've just announced today that I'm doing Bake Off, which I've done, and that goes out soon. So yeah, I thought, you know what? I'll do a tour. Take a box.
Yeah, and like you say, you've done live. You started out doing stand-up comedy. Now you say you walked out there without a script. I'm hoping you're bringing one on tour.
Yeah.
So tell me about it. What can fans expect?
Well, if you like me, hopefully you will like the tour, because I've described it as if I was in a band, it would be my best of album, which normally means you've run out of material or you've finished. I do think I've reached to a chapter where it might go a different direction from now, you know, especially that I'm doing me as me. It could go a different way. So I just wanted to do something that kind of like says, didn't we have a great time? So Keith Lemon's in there doing some sort of juice style games. We can't do celebrity juice because that's copyright infringement. The Bear will be there, so audience can get up and tell the bear a bedtime story and hopefully deflect themselves from something that might pop out. Avid Merian will be stepping into a time portal from 2002 and landing in present time, and will learn the landscape of modern times. And loads of new masks. A lot of people have been saying, are you doing that mask? Are you doing that mask? But the landscape of what you can and can't do has changed. And I've always thought I was quite mindful of what you can and can't do. And then suddenly, as we're in cancel culture now, people will go, oh, you did this 20 years ago. You can only apologise for what you did 20 years ago.
And you are.
And I did. But my wife likens, her analogy is, you would never tell a dog off for pooing on your carpet 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Because dog will go, I can't remember pooing on the carpet.
And you, we know, has not got a great memory.
No, you haven't. I can't remember anything. That's why I ad-lib a lot. When we did Celebrity Juice, we'd basically rehearse in the day, and then in the evening it was a different show. But you've got cards that say, now it's time for this round and stuff. But it's just talking and just talking.
Let me just ask you about the modern landscape of things now. It's a bit of a minefield. Can you be outrageously funny anymore?
I think you can. I think you can. I think most comedians read the room. You'd hope you read the room. You only set out to put smiles on faces. I don't think anyone, and I can't speak for every comedian. I don't even think I am a comedian. I'm just a dingbat on television. But I've always thought I can read the room, but then the rules change. So if you can't think of some different gags or jokes to fit the room, I don't know. I just feel like you've got to change. Otherwise, you're doing the same material all the time. And people might say, "But you are doing this." But I think we are more mindful these days. I try to be, and you can only try to be. And you apologise for things you might have said or done from years ago. If people don't accept that apology, there's nothing else you can do. And I promised I wouldn't even go down this rabbit hole of things that I've done in the past. I won't talk about it because it becomes clickbait as well.
Absolutely.
But I don't mind talking about it because I think I've been quite open.
I'd rather talk a little bit about the future. I mean, some of the new masks that you've got and some of the new celebrities that you're bringing into here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, can you give me any exclusives? I've heard of some Gogglebox and the Simon Cowell.
Potentially.
It's almost as childish as you.
Hey, you!
It's giving me a giddy willy.
Joel Dommett. It's in there, guys.
Are you really though?
Welcome to Top Gear.
Hello to you, it is me, Avid Merian. Have a face like a sweaty butthole.
Pizzazz.
Hello. I'll tell you what I have done this time round with people that I know. I've sent pictures to them of the masks. I go, I'm doing you in the tour, and hopefully you get a lovely response. I bumped into Louis Theroux, and I showed him on my phone. I went, look, I've done you as a mask. And he was laughing his head off. And funny enough, as intelligent as Louis Theroux is, someone I look up to, he took a photograph of my photograph on my phone. And I went, I'll just send it to you. And he went, no. And took a photograph of my photograph on my phone. I can just send it to you. But
can we hear a little bit of him?
It's rubbish when you don't do it. If you do it without the mask on, I don't think it works.
Can you really?
Yeah,
really?
I don't think it works. I kind of, as soon as you put the mask, you put the mask on, and it all happens. Did you really though? Are you really though? Are you really though? And sort of that vibe. And it's the only line I can do as Louis Theroux. So it's initial, that's all he says. Is it really though? Did you though?
I can see the t-shirts already.
Is it really though? This is one of the t-shirts.
That looks a little bit like Louis Theroux.
Well, if you put the rest of his face on, it could be anyone. but yeah, that's my eyes in the glasses.
Yeah. Merch available now.
Merch available on killclothes.com. That's KIL. And merch will be available on the tours as well.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm own mother plugger.
Well, listen, let's also, before we address the elephant in the room, which is Keith Lemon, let's first of all just remind people where you're going and how they can get tickets. You can get tickets from Gigs and Tours, you can get tickets from Ticketmaster, you can get tickets from the link that is in my bio on my Instagram page. I'm kicking off in Stoke. I think actually we're doing a work in progress, 2 nights. I've never heard that term before because I've never done a live tour before. You've becoming lovely now, aren't you? I'm becoming. You've changed. I'm not allowed to change. My mates won't let me change.
And so work in progress in Southend on the 27th and 28th. That's where we can try things out and things might go wrong and change. But to me, that will be the whole tour, changing things and going wrong, because I think the title of the show, My First Time, is the license for us to go wrong. I think people enjoy seeing you go wrong. I will definitely go wrong. There'll be there's so many changes.
You don't need to make apologies, you know. But I think people are loving.
People
love it when it does.
They do, don't they? Yeah. And I'm with two other actors, Jess Robinson, who's wonderful, who can do loads of different voices.
So you're not just doing 3 hours on your own?
No, there's three of us. She can do loads of different voices when she's singing. She's a great singer. And Adam Booth, who plays Keith Lemon's brother, and he also plays Deck when we do Anton Deck. He's played loads of characters in the Keith Lemon sketch show, and he was also in Lemon La Vida Loca and Keith and Paddy Picture Show.
Right, excellent. And in terms of actually doing that, you mentioned 24 actual dates. You're going to be doing a few others. You're going to be doing 3 dates here at the Leeds Grand Theatre.
Yeah.
A big homecoming for you. You must have seen actually in the past. How special is this going to be?
Do you know what? Last time I was here, I saw the Rocky Horror Show, and I was dressed not as a character from Rocky Horror Show because I'm obtuse and awkward. I was dressed as Superman, which don't fit into that world. But I'm sure I'd seen a picture of someone dressed as Superman in a book somewhere, so that's why I dressed as Superman. But I've just had a little walk around. It's an unbelievable place. I'm really excited for Leeds, and that's genuine. Because I'm from Leeds, so the audience is going to be filled with mates and family going, "You're rubbish, you're rubbish." But you know what? It's not a heckly show, because it's not a stand-up show. It's a live sketch show.
But mates and family still living here. Is your mum Pat? Does she still live here?
Yeah, she does. Yeah, so she keeps. Do I have to buy tickets? Well, no, you'll get one for free. Don't worry.
So and they're going to be shipping them all in.
All family.
Does that put you under more pressure?
They've seen me mess about. It's funny, when I did Keith and Paddy Picture Show, where me and Paddy McGuinness were spoofing movies, some of my Leeds mates would say, "We've seen you do this before." And in my garden when I was 16, with no props and stuff. So my mates used to see me mess about. In fact, when I was young, I used to make home videos, then go around to my mate's house, and then we would all go out for a drink. And I got to the stage where my mates went, "Why are you still making these videos?" Because we used to do it together, and they grew up and I didn't. And I said, because that's what the ritual of our Friday nights. I show you a video that I've made, then we all go out. And I think it was my then girlfriend, who was my wife, she said, "Why don't you send your videos to telly?" Well, that's a good idea. Maybe I will send them to telly. And I used to write down all the production company names on the end boards of every show. And I just got into the habit of sending videos to telly.
Wow.
At one point I did a video every day for 3 years, and wrote a script every day for 3 years.
And that's easier for people to do now with using iPhones or whatever, isn't
Yeah, not
it?
back then.
Not back then.
Yeah.
But these days, I suppose, as an inspiration to other people, if you're doing
well,
that
people
kind
are
of
doing
thing,
that every day. It doesn't mean anything, does it, to say I did a video every day?
No.
But to get a video camera out and to put a tape in it and then to cut it on 2 VHS players, recorders, it was.
So it all began in your back bedroom in Leeds?
Yeah. So I got a video camera when I was 16.
Yeah.
My mate, the real Keith Lemon, who I've known since I was 3, he bought a video camera and couldn't afford the payments from the catalogue. And he says, "Do you want to buy a video camera off me?" I said, "How much have you got left to pay?" I think it was like 250 quid. I said, "I'll ask my dad." And my dad said, "I'll buy you a video camera if you cut the grass for the rest of your life." And that year they paved the garden, literally. But that's how it all started, me just making videos with Keith
nice
Lemon's video
segue into Keith Lemon. So what I've got to say is that there are going to be a lot of people watching this interview and thinking, why does he keep calling him Leigh? Because let's face it, for the last 20 years, you have been
Keith Lemon.
Keith Lemon.
Yeah.
And Keith Lemon, not just any old Keith Lemon, but national treasure Keith Lemon.
Really?
We love you. Yeah, we absolutely adore you. So then suddenly, it's, no, hang on, you've come out as Leigh Francis.
Yeah.
So why now?
Because I turned 50. I turned 50 and I just thought, I'll have a little chill. Let's have a little break from Keith Lemon and other characters and just do me for a little while. It's simply age. And I thought, there's things I couldn't do in character that I would like to do. I don't think they would have asked me to do Portrait Artist of the Year in character.
No.
They wouldn't have asked me to do Bake Off. I've got a few other things that are coming out this year that are as me. And it's funny when I do a live stream on something like TikTok or whatever, I am forever, they go, "Hey, Keith Lemon," and I go, "Oh, Keith Lemon's just a character," and then they don't believe that they go, what? You're not called Keith Lemon? I go, not only am I not called Keith Lemon, it's a fictional person. What? You've not got a DeLorean? Well, I've got a couple of DeLoreans that big, but I don't drive a DeLorean. Because they've always believed that I am. But my wife will say, that's your fault because you lived him.
Yeah,
and
it's
try
been a
to
double
convince
life almost.
You
isn't
convince,
it?
try
The
to
public
convince
life
people, yeah.
has been Keith Lemon.
But
Now,
before that, I was Avid Merriam. Let me tell you a weird story about Avid Merriam,
Go on.
because he was from a made-up country, and again, I did it from a made-up country, so we didn't get into trouble about accent and mocking people's accent. He was from Arachnipus. To bring any sort of realism to it, I said it's near Transylvania.
right, okay.
But in meetings with Channel 4 back in the day, or with anyone, I stayed in character all the time, to the point where my wages for Bow Selector at the beginning got sent to foreign national taxes. 20% of it went to foreign national taxes because Channel 4 thought that Avid Merriam was a foreign person.
Wow.
And then my then agent had to get that money back.
And I gather then that his surname's not based on the Merriam Centre in Leeds.
No, it's me, drawing teacher at art college, Len Merians, who was Latvian and used to speak like Avid Merriam. It's basically me doing an impression of him.
And turning to Keith Lemon, the big one, he's a real person. He was a best friend. Was he best man?
He was my best man. He's still my best man now.
He lives
yeah.
here in Leeds.
He lives in Halifax now.
Does he?
Yeah.
So in your Yorkshire dates, he's going to be the real Keith Lemon's going to stand up, is he?
Yeah. Well, I said, I'll drag you on stage. He wouldn't know. So he'll be going to Halifax and he'll be coming to the Leeds ones, yeah.
All right, well, I'm sure that'll be a big thrill for you to see that. In terms of Keith Lemon, I mean, obviously outrageous, flamboyantly dressed,
Well, do you know what, his clothes started out rancid,
Yeah.
I thought. And then we did an episode of Celebrity Juice where we had JLS on. And I said, wouldn't it be funny if Keith Lemon's dressed a bit like JLS? And then I was like, it was a light bulb moment. I said, how could, if Keith Lemon knows how to dress like JLS, why does he dress like he's in Miami Vice? And I said, I think his clothes should change. And I got sick to death of dyeing my hair blonde, which is horrible. You sat in I had a lovely hairdresser, but you sat there for it takes like 3 hours to dye your hair. Are you going on holiday this year? Yeah, I've told you last week when I came. And so I said, I'm going to stop dyeing my hair. And I had a big chat with the producer, like, what do you think if Keith Lemon didn't have that blonde hair anymore, like Anthea Turner? And now he's going to have ginger hair. They went, oh yeah, like what, like wild ginger hair? I went, yeah. He went, oh yeah, great. So I'm changing his clothes as well. I want him to be more stylish, because we had all these horrible clothes that we used to get rid of afterwards. And I said, what a shame that we're throwing all those clothes away to charity. And I said, it'd be nice if he had some clothes that I could keep. And the hat thing just came because I was going to the Brits and I wanted to meet Pharrell from Pharrell. Nerds. It was Nerds, wasn't it?
Nerds, yeah.
I wanted to meet Pharrell, and so I thought I'll wear the same hat as him. That'll be an icebreaker, and we'll pass. And he'll say nice hat, and I'll say nice hat, that's exactly what happened.
Oh, fantastic!
And it's funny,
wishful thinking.
Mark Wright was sat on the table, and he saw me all shoved. He went, look at Leigh's face, because I got wobbly mouth, like when you get your bronze certificate swimming award at school, and you try not to be chuffed, you try to be cool in front of your mates, and you're like this on stage.
Fantastic.
Trying to hold it in, I had wobbly mouth.
But I mean, the point that I make is that obviously, you look like him. You wear the hats. You're bound to look like him. You wear the hats. You've got the clothes. You're missing the handband.
Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, how do we know when the real?
Me.
Yeah.
How did you know it was me when I was Avid Merriam, who looked exactly the same as me?
Yeah.
But without a neck brace. It's just the
good
same.
point.
Oh, actually, I guess Avid spoke in a different accent totally. And I'd like to think I speak differently to Keith Lemon. Otherwise, I haven't been doing anything.
I suppose being Keith Lemon means that you can be outrageous and you can say things that you wouldn't get away with as yourself.
Well, what's funny enough, I just presented some awards in Birmingham on Friday, and I'd not been Keith Lemon since I did the 4th series of Shopping, which you can watch on ITVX. I'd not been him since last summer.
Yeah.
And I phoned my wife up and went, it's so weird being Keith again. She went, were you naughty? I went, yeah, I was really naughty. And
you enjoyed it.
But when before this is all, can we do a rehearsal? I went, can I just go to my room first and get changed?
Did you have to get into the part?
Yeah, and I think they could hear me talking to myself in my room, just going, oh, look at her over there, she's bang tidy. See, the thing is with Keith Lemon, it's more, I used to describe it, I don't know if I can say this, like a cat's bum. The mouth is that a cat's bum. And that all started because I began with a fake tash. and the only way to keep it on was to keep your mouth like this, because and the laugh, I'll go, and that's just trying to keep the tash on.
So that's where the
otherwise
voice
it would
came
fall
from,
off.
yeah.
Until I did Keith Lemon's Very Brilliant World Tour, where I had to grow a tash and grow my hair and dye it blonde, because I had to convince everybody who didn't know me that Keith Lemon was real whilst we were travelling.
Fern Cotton said recently that she just found that it was starting to blur between Leigh and Keith, and that when she talked to Leigh were about a married father of two, and when it were speaking to Keith, she didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Really outrageous. But I guess, like, your wife and your kids, do you take Keith home any time, or does he go on
Don't
trips?
take anything home.
Would your wife divorce Keith Lemon?
She liked Keith Lemon.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. And people,
What, more than Leigh?
No. People would often ask, do you ever do Keith Lemon in the bedroom? That's no way. She married me. That'd be weird, wouldn't it, if I just came in with a bandage on? If she felt my hand in the bed, and like, you've got your bandage on. Yeah, no. I'm going to smash your back doors.
I don't even know if we can put that out, but we'll try. But listen, let me just ask you about that bandage then.
Yeah.
We had all kinds of rumours about a tattoo, and there's no tattoo, an X-rated tattoo, about trying to get sympathy from the girls. What was it all about?
Again, the real Keith Lemon had a bandage on his hand for too long. We was in a bar once, and I went, you still got that bandage on? I said, there's nothing wrong with your hand. He said, I know, watch this though. We're in this bar, what was it called? I think it was called Observatory in Leeds. And he's doing this, making sure everyone can see his bandage. And then some girls came over to him and said, what have you done to your hand? And then he just did a little look at me like that. And he went, I've just got out of Navy. I had an accident in Navy, so I've got some time off. And then I went, why do you do the Navy story? He went, they like it. So I guess that stuck in my head. But Keith Lemon, the character, is not Keith Lemon, the real person. I just took his name. Actually, his mum used to say to me when he used to play at his house when we were kids, when I'd leave, when she always used to watch me, make sure I shut the gate on my way out. And she goes, if I don't see you for a week, I'll see you for a window. And I used to say to Keith, what does that mean? And it just means when you're walking past, when we're going to school, if we ain't being around, she'll just wave at you.
It became a catchphrase.
Yeah. But it's not
So,
really.
what does the real Keith Lemon think about it? Or does he hate you because you've tarred him with this?
I think he liked it at the beginning.
Yeah.
At the beginning, he liked it, and
They're still friends.
Yeah. And then I think it was a bit difficult because he was always trying to prove that he was called Keith Lemon. And I've spoke about this before. I remember, and he can't remember this. He had a picture of me and him in his wallet because he says, I'm friends with him and all this lot. And he showed us something. Keith, that looks weird, man. There's a picture of me in your wallet. It should be your wife or your mum or something. I don't know. But he said, I can't remember doing that. He said it must have been before phones. So when Keith Lemon character is, like you say, 20 years old, so it is before phones. In fact, when I first started doing Keith Lemon, I remember having a big Nokia on my belt, and then that was a part of the joke. That he had a Nokia for too long, and I went, and I can remember dropping that as part of the act as well.
It sounds like a real bromance.
What, with me and Keith?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all like brothers, but different mothers.
Yeah. Well, listen, just a final point. Obviously, particularly people who know you from Leeds know that you started life out at the Yorkshire Evening Post, the Yorkshire Post, as a graphic designer.
Yeah.
Things could have been a lot different. I mean, it probably were foundations for winning celebrity portrait artist of the year, but life could have been different.
I went to art college here. It was called Jacob Kramer when I joined, and then it changed to Leeds College of Art and Design. I did graphic design for 2 years, then I did advertising for a year. Before that, I'd done a post-diploma in art and design where you did all different aspects of art and design. And then I got a job at the Yorkshire Evening Post as a graphic designer, and I became, I'm blowing my own trumpet now, I feel like I'm on Wogan or something, I don't know.
This is your life.
Yeah, this is your life, yeah, that's it.
And now, Keith, I'd like to bring in from the Yorkshire Post.
No, you remember this voice? I became senior artist there, and you know what, I loved it. I loved it when I'd have a night out in Leeds and you might see a newspaper on the floor or whatever, and I go, oh, I drew that.
Yeah.
And it was
nice
exciting.
memories, good memories.
Yeah. And like, if my dad was still around when I left, he probably would have said, I think you're stupid leaving that good job. You went to art college for 4 years and you're leaving that job to be an idiot on telly.
I know what's happened to you.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I could talk to you all afternoon. I know that you've got other things to do, but thank you ever so much for giving us some time today. Can you just remind everybody again what's going to be happening in March and April in terms of the name of the tour and where you're going and how people can get to see you.
It's called Leigh Francis My First Time. It begins in Southend with works in progress, and then it kicks off for real in March in Stoke, I think. I'm looking off camera. I'm getting a nod. It's in Stoke. I'm looking at the wrong camera because I'm looking at this camera.
Cool.
I like all the cameras, that's why I'm looking at them. I don't want any camera to be self-conscious that it's not needed. They're all needed. They're all needed.
Tell me into it.
So we kick off in March in Stoke, and we finish here at the Grand. So all around the UK, we finish here on the 5th, 6th and 7th in Leeds. Glorious Leeds.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So listen, we'll have all the details on this video and on the websites. Leigh, it's been an absolute pleasure. Our first meeting, but I hope it'll not be the last.
Thanks very much.
All right, take care.
Should we look into this one?
Hi, it's me, Leigh Francis, aka Keith Lemon, Avid Marion, the Bear, numerous mass celebrities. Oh, there's a fly. I just wanted to say thanks for the amazing response to the tour. Apparently it's selling really well, so extra dates have been added. Oops, that's where it all is. So thanks to everyone that's bought a ticket already, and I'll see you live for my first time, March 2024. Oh, I look dishevelled.
What, kid?